Welcome to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is your podcast for all things hockey. On this podcast, we talk about past history to the modern day and what you can do to grow the sport. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. Welcome back to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is episode 20. So today I wanted to change some things up and tell you that you shouldn't be too aggressive with your opposing teammates or your opposing team, rather, because there was a little bit of a heat. It got a little heated over the weekend with opposing teams. I was playing beer league, and there were two guys that were just giving us trouble, and they were cross-checking us. We didn't even have the puck, some of us, when they did it. And to top it all off, I wind up trash talking one of them, and it, and then I just that's not me. And yes, you can get heated in the moment, and then if you get like that, give your grace, apologize, and say you're sorry, and try not to let it happen again. Because, I mean, we're playing for fun. We're not professional hockey players. Even in beer league, in the adult leagues, some of them actually have tournament prizes. That's understandable. But even still, there's really no reason to get heated too. I don't know what was going through my mind. Part of me wanted to stick up for my teammates too. And it's knock it off. Get off me when I don't have the puck. You're like, dude, there's a reason why if the puck is away from someone else on the opposing team, if you hit that player, you go to the box. And we were not playing with penalties. Even though we had a ref, we weren't playing with penalties. And I think when the situation is not in control, when you're not when things aren't going the way they should, you are going to get frustrated. But there was this one guy, and I cannot remember his name. Maybe it was someone. I think I know his name now, but I asked him when someone left, and it's like, what do we do now? Because the rules had changed. There was our goalie left, and I'm like, what do we do now? And then he says, just play hockey. Just keep skating. Just bring the puck up. Just make sure your team wins. And that's all you can do. So, speaking of taking your shot, one of our goalies left that was playing for us. So we had to play pipes. And then the opposing goalie came over to our side. Now, as we were playing pipes, I get the puck in the offensive zone from the top of the face-off circle. I launch a backhanded shot, and it hits the crossbar. And then the opposing players are like, dude, that was amazing. How'd you do that? And I'm like, dude, thank you, man. Thank you for that. And if you, and I was just thankful to just be able to shake that off. And And then at the end of the game, we were in like they were in the next locker room over, and it's like I come over and shake his hand. It's like, dude, I'm sorry about that. I got carried away, and and we said our graces, and we went on with our nights. If you're in high school, if you're in college, still don't get too heated. And if you take the penalty, just you know, be a gentleman is my rule. Be a gentleman, be respectful, and if you get a penalty, just take it and move on, and you work through it because that's all you can do. And once you get past it, and you just start dominating, you really can get this. You really can get it going too. You really can have some amazing shifts and plays. I mean, once I got over it, I even stole the puck from someone, which is like, okay, I don't really get the puck often, but okay. Yeah, and there's that. Um, Now back to taking your shot. I mean, I kept telling them to take their shot, just keep pressing, and eventually we'll score. And there were some close times when the goalie who was there in the net, and we had both goalies. I get close too, but and I kept shipping away. And some nights, you're gonna have better nights than other nights, and that's the thing too. You know, don't get into the trash talking. Telling them, giving off swears and telling them to go f themselves or whatever. It's not worth it. It's not worth you going to the box. I mean, but be honest with me. For those listeners or those that are watching me right now, do you really want to be in the box for a shift, lose a shift, put your team at a disadvantage because you decided to have your feelings hurt, and potentially the opposing team can score on a power play, and you lose a shift, you lose playing time, you lose time away from the game you love? Is it really worth it to hit someone from behind, or just make it, or just be dirty against someone? I mean, if they're going to be dirty, let them be dirty. Let the opposing team be dirty. Let them make the mistakes. Let them screw up, because you're probably better than that. And I think you know that too. I really think you do, because if you can focus on checking, you are clean when you check it. You do not elbow anyone. You use your shoulder, you use your hips, and you're clean with it. The only way your elbow should be in the check is when it's tucked and you sort of do that. That's the only reason, your elbow should be in the play of the check. It's not. The only penalties I really remember taking were some 10-minute majors in high school. And I remember sitting next to my classmate in the box, and I'm like, and I didn't talk to him, but I wondered, why did he do that? Why did he hurt us? We're playing against, we play against tough teams in our division, and we lose a leader in our game. Since when did that make any sense? You're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to be an assistant captain, especially if you're a captain or an assistant captain. You're the one communicating with the referee. You have to go find out what it is you are doing. You know, if there's a play and you need an explanation from someone, you have to get it. You need to be the responsible adult. You can't be doing anything putting your team at a disadvantage. Never do that. I don't understand what you're doing when you do that. It's not fun at all. And I want to just say that I think the fact that I'm now not playing in a checking league, certainly helps when I'm not doing anything, when I'm not putting myself at risk. But for you coming up, who the ones that are in the checking leagues, that the one that are in the adult checking leagues and college leagues and high school and maybe midget or travel, you know, there's no reason to really get that bent out of shape. We're going through some tough times, people. I think you can cool it with the animosity. You can check them. You can check them into the boards and get them off the puck, even if it's hard. And you can have your teammate take the puck away for you, and you can go down and shoot and score on the net. That's all you have to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Are you going to get into penalty situations and go to the box? Of course you will. But you're going to finish the game, and the best thing you can do is finish the game, be respectful, and then shake hands afterward. I shook so many hands with so many college teams and coaches. Navy was a big one. Rhode Island was another. We had Penn State Berks. We played against Maryland. We played against UMBC. We played against Villanova. That was actually really fun. Going to Pennsylvania. And Temple was another one. I remember. Really good times in Philadelphia. Not gonna lie, great times in Philly. And yeah, great times. Whether you're a coach or a referee, also keep your cool. You don't need to get your team. Well, if you're a coach, you don't need to get your team or yourself ejected. Any of your players ejected. You don't need to do that. It's not fun for anyone. You can. I mean, if you're mature enough to manage kids or college guys or high school guys, you can be mature enough to be respectful to the referees as well. And if you tell the referee to F off, do not be surprised if you have to go away and then your assistant takes over and and has to do the job. Fortunately that never happened to me. A guy by the name of Ed Slusher certainly helped me out there, and none of us got ejected, thank goodness. Some of our players certainly did, but none of it. But that's never happened to us. It's rare, but probably not. Just don't be rude to the refs, please. You be respectful to them. All right, what's next? Okay. So I did want to mention before I moved on here that there will be no Thursday episode. I will try and get an article out on Substack as well. In fact, I think I know what topic I'll put. That is, be respectful when you play the game. it turns people off to the game. I, I mean, there's a yes, there's a certain appeal to the fighting in the NHL, but every other league below that doesn't have it. It doesn't have it in its league. Doesn't have it in college. Doesn't have it in high school. You punch someone in high school, you're ejected. You're ejected. So I don't think maybe the NHL will adopt that rule of no fighting because none of the other big four sports do that. In soccer, they really, um, it, I mean, like, yeah, you get red carded for that in soccer as well. Or I've never seen a fight in volleyball or tennis. They get frustrated, but they don't. I don't think they actually. I don't think I've seen a full blown fight in tennis, and I don't. And yes, it's appealing too. And I mean, but we're not putting on a boxing show or MMA or whatever we're doing now in fighting sports. This is supposed to be hard. Yes, there's a component of violence to it, but I don't think we need the fighting. I mean, you got guys who can play very well, going up against opposing players who also play very well, and they could have potentially Hall of Fame careers. I do not understand, like, if they and they fight with their helmets off. You take a punch to the chin, you can certainly get injured. Like, imagine, and you can go flying back and you hit your head. I'm sorry, like you could get a concussion from that too. You fall the wrong way, and if you leave your skates and you fall, oh man, that is a like I don't know what how that has not happened yet, or maybe it has, and I've don't have it the knowledge of that, but but just an uppercut to the chin, and if a player leaves his skates uh from that blow, he's going to fall down hard about 7 feet, and he's going to get a concussion from the hard ice. And if it's concrete with roller hockey, yeah, yeah, that's a guaranteed 100% concussion. And I really do not understand that too in roller hockey. Like, there's been fights in roller hockey, and it's like, really, you're amateurs too. So, and sometimes like and that's really not allowed too. And they get their majors. They get 10-minute majors and 5-minute majors and twos and fours and all that as well. But I mean, yeah, some people watch it for the fighting. Guess what? They're not hockey fans in my mind. They're not. And oh, controversial issue here. Uh, we watch it for the game. A true hockey fan watches it for the game, and a true hockey fan, you know, respects the opposing players if he or she is facing, facing off playing against them. They they respect their opposing players. They honor their opposing team, and they act like adults when they play the game. Because if we do not have respect for one another, we're not going to have a good game. We're not going to have a good time. And whether you're competing for a championship or whatever, you should still be respectful because sometimes dirty plays can happen and the ref's just not going to call it. The ref can't see everything. The ref and the linesman can only do so much. And when that happens, you're going to get upset too. So what goes around comes around. So please be respectful. I don't care about your ability. I mean, I care about your toughness and your ability to persevere through difficult situations. That is something you should also care about and respect others' ability to do. No matter what, don't get too carried away. Don't get it. There's a Gary Busey said this in Rookie of the Year. Uh, don't take this game too seriously, or don't take life too seriously, because one day it'll be over. And that'll do it for this episode of the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This has been episode 20. I will try and have a Substack article out for you later in the week. Hopefully I can get that out. Thursday is going to be my busiest day of the year, so I will not have an episode out for you. But this Substack article will be free for everyone as well. I'll link my current Substack article in the show notes, so you don't have to sign up and pay for $5 for this. This one's free, and you can sign up for my free Substack as well. You can sign up for the hockey Substack for free as well. And if it interests you, you can pay $5 a month, and you'll get exclusives as well. So once again, I thank you for listening to this. Please rate this 5 stars on Spotify. Share this show with your friends. The video podcast has certainly been a blessing, and I thank Anchor.fm for really just help doing all of this, and being able to put video on Spotify has been a game changer. And we're on Apple, Spotify, Google, all the major ones. And you can definitely share this with your friends, and check out my YouTube channel too. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day, and go play some hockey.